I was very naive when I stepped into the position as CEO at Imbalie Beauty, and the qualities that I said earlier on that you need is to really persevere when things are tough. You also have to start working harder to make sure that when you work harder that you keep very focused on resolving problems that you currently encounter. And then apart from the fact, I've spoken about the perseverance, the hard work, but you need to have a lot of discipline. And while you're doing all of this, you have to inspire people to come on the journey with you, because you cannot do it on your own. You need a team around you. So where I said you must never forget where you come from, I always remember that we're living the legacy of Alma Mackenzie, who started the business 35 years ago. And I always go back and just remember how tough and difficult it was for her when she started it. In those days, no emails, no cell phones. And the reality is, as I said, if you've got a passion and a burning desire to make things work, you will find the courage to figure it out. It takes time to build that proper foundation, to form that proper support structures for your franchisees, to continuously inspire them, to continuously make sure that they also growing as leaders, that they, together with growing themselves, that they uplift their teams working for them. So, because that's how you build this whole structure. And often when the people come into the beauty industry, they do think that it's not going to be difficult. It is a tough industry. Like any franchise business, it's tough. You also work very long hours, and you in turn have to continuously inspire the teams working for you in your salon. So it's very similar at our head office level. So we will continuously bring the franchisees in on either training or mentorship programs, and we're not close to where I want us to be. We've started originally with induction training, and then we've got other partnerships who we work with who also give our franchisees business training and various other programs to grow our people. And like I said early on, it's very important to bring people into your organization that's actually better than yourself, that's very much equipped in doing all the necessary things to uplift leaders and their teams in business. Because that's what it ultimately is about, is to mentor people, to grow people, because then it just helps your organization to start growing exponentially. It's never about you. With the franchisees, trust is very important. So it's a continuous process where you have to actually demonstrate through your actions that you are trustworthy. And I'm honest, franchisees can also sometimes be like naughty children, where they do take a chance. However, when they complain, you have to listen carefully to their complaints and to see how can you improve your system to better support them and better help them with their problems and their issues. So I remember when I started there 5 years ago, as I said earlier, we had many complaints from various franchisees. Today my complaints are very little here and there. However, it's an ongoing process, because people often say don't spend a lot of money on a lot of research to try and find out what's wrong in your system. You actually just need to listen to the gossip to find out what's wrong in your system. So over the last 5 years, John, my journey has been to really fix the system, to make the system more transparent, to deliver on what we say we are delivering to franchisees. And by all means, we are not perfect. as a franchisor, we still make mistakes, but we really do our utter best to accommodate our franchisees as far as possible and to rebuild that trust. And for me, the real trust is when a franchise that I met the first year 5 years ago said, please help us to sell our salon, that they are this year buying their 4th salon. So that is for me the restoration of trust and credibility. I've always liked to take on challenges in my life. And subsequent to that, when I complained, my husband would always say to me, you made the choice. So I had to live with my choice. And as humans, we often make choices, and we have to live with those choices and make the best of it. Because I also believe that everything is placed on our path for a very specific reason, to help us with our own growth process, a process of growth and transformation. Because when we get older, we're there also to mentor other people, to help other people. In my case, I think my trust, I always, when we listed companies on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, we always completely trusted the management teams. And, I still look up at people, because I also believe people are all walking their own journeys. We can't judge people. However, for me it was very disappointing going into that difficult scenario, working extremely hard with people to turn the business around, that subsequent to that, that same management team then go later on in competition to you. That's where the trust issue comes in. And then also with our franchisees, you have to work every single day on trust issues, because there's often a misunderstanding where people heard something which is actually not the truth. And in my case, I quickly call people into my office and we deal face to face with an issue, because emails and all those types of communication do not always work if you need to restore trust. We want to become a world leader. We want to grow our group into something very special. And we're looking for the next step now. We're happy with the foundation that we've built. We believe that we can support our franchisees the way we should. And there's great things happening in our company. So I'm really looking forward to the next 5 years. I've got a very strong person who have joined me, and we look forward to the next 5 years to make a big impact in South Africa.